Today I'm going to be performing a virgin relaxer and also a relaxer retouch on my mannequin. The first thing you'll do is have a client consultation, just discussing the goals and kind of what they're looking to get out of the service you'll be performing. Then I will start by draping my client. I'm draping her for a chemical service, so I put a towel on her neck and then the cape over top of that first towel, and then I also put a second towel around the cape after it was fastened. After that, I'm going to section her hair into 4 quadrants, so just dividing it straight down the middle and then above each ear, or just from the point of her head. So here are my 4 sections. I'm going to first start applying a barrier cream. You want to make sure that you get this all over her scalp. So I'm just first going to start by going in each spot on the sections I already have. And then I will break apart each section, and using my clip, I'll take about an 1/8 inch of a section of the entire hair and make sure I get it everywhere on the scalp. This will prevent any burning that the relaxer may have an effect on the scalp. So here I am. I'm first going to be applying the Virgin Relaxer. So I'm going to start, when you first start applying it, kind of stay away from the scalp and then work your way towards the ends. And I'm going to do this on the back section and then the front left section. And when I do this, I just paint it in close to the scalp but not quite on it, and then paint it all the way into the ends, making sure it's saturated. I also started at the top of my client's hair and worked my way down, and then also at the top of the section that you're working with, and then you do the underneath of the section after you worked at the top, just to make sure that it's all fully saturated. Also, when you're doing this, I started in the back because that's usually the most resistant to the relaxer, and then the front usually takes to it or processes a little bit quicker. So I started in the back, that way I can go ahead and start processing before I start the front. When doing this, I took about an 1/8 of an inch section, that just makes it easier in fully saturating the hair. mid shaft and ends fully saturated, I go back in with my relaxer and take it to the root. So here I am just applying that relaxer all the way to the root, and I'm going to do that in the back section as well as the front. After you touch the root up with the rest of your relaxer, you can either use the back of your comb or your fingers. I chose to use my fingers, and I'm just massaging the relaxer all the way into the hair to make sure it's fully saturated and to make sure it'll process correctly and thoroughly. Starting my relaxer retouch. With this, you kind of do the same thing. You just stay away from the mid shaft and the ends, being that those are already chemically treated. So I went in at the top of my back section because that is the most resistant. So we want to start with that before we start the front, and I'm just going in and I'm painting that on the root of her hair. I'm also staying away from the scalp until the last couple minutes of processing, and then I will go back in and touch that up. But you just want to bring it down until just cover the root that hasn't been already chemically treated. Here I am moving to the front section, again doing the same thing I did in the back. Again, still avoiding the scalp area. I'm going to do that closer to processing time. You're doing this really just because it can be very irritant to the skin, so you want to wait till the end to do that so it doesn't stay on the scalp for too long. Work that all the way to the root. Again, I'm just using my fingers. You can also use the back of your comb to do this. And this step actually went before rubbing it in. But I'm just using the rest of the relaxer I had in my bowl to apply that to her root and make sure I have everything saturated. So I'm just kind of double checking the work that I've already done. And then my mannequin also fell off the stand halfway through this, so I'm just kind of making it work as I go. are fully applied and you are sure that it is fully saturated, you will let them process. Processing time is usually at about 20 minutes, normally no longer than 20 minutes, but just read the instructions on whatever chemical you're using. Then you're going to rinse. When you rinse it thoroughly with warm water to get all that relaxer out, and then shampoo your client. You usually shampoo about 3 times just to make sure that you get any traces of the relaxer removed. After that, you will blot the excess hair or water from the hair, and then you will apply a neutralizer, which I'm using conditioner for a neutralizer in this video, but you will apply a neutralizer in the sections, and then you will just disperse it all throughout the hair. You can either use your hands